1063, and parents, it is 1063 recap, and man, we just had a phenomenal service. I'm telling you, there was an atmosphere shift that took place tonight, and just some of the teenagers walked in heavy and they felt a little bit discouraged. There was a little bit of, you could just tell, just the enemy was warring tonight. Just did not want them to encounter God, wanted to try to distract them and discourage them so that they wouldn't feel it. And we persevered. We went through worship, and I'm telling you, I preached the word tonight, and that's why when I was getting ready to preach His word, I knew it was coming. I preached a message called Resist to Resist. Next week, we're going to be launching our resistance, and we're expecting 800 kids in this place. And so tonight, what I really felt like I needed to do is just confront the voices. I recently heard a message and didn't respond, and did some studying in a book, but talked about how that there's three major levels of temptation, and there's the world, there's the flesh, and then there's the devil. And I just talked and exposed those things to the students, and I challenged them. I said, you know what's so amazing is the world calls any type of ungodly living normal, and any type of godly living is abnormal. And so, you know, there's nothing wrong with cussing. There's nothing wrong with talking back to parents. There's nothing wrong with watching demon-possessed movies and just craziness. But yet a child stands up and says, I'm not going to give up my virginity until I'm married, and I'm going to keep my purity, and I'm not going to cuss, and I'm not going to drink, and I'm not going to do the party scene. And we consider that abnormal, or the world considers that abnormal. And so I just challenge them to begin to resist the enemy, and the enemy is going to try to resist them. My scripture tonight was 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 8 and 9, where it says that the enemy is like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. I talked about, listen, if the enemy is looking for somebody to devour, it's because he can't devour everyone. And I don't want to be devil food. I don't want my kids to be devil food, and I don't want these teenagers to be devil food. I want them to really make some valuable choices in their life and standing. I preached out of Ephesians chapter 6, read from verses 10 through 20, talked about the armor of God and how that our fight is not against flesh and blood. So many times we, as whether it be as unbelievers or believers, we blame everybody else for our mistakes, and we never take responsibility that we have full control over our decisions and over our actions. And so I challenge the students, you know what, man, there's maybe some of you that need to apologize to your parents, maybe need to apologize to teachers. And I want to see a generation that rises up and no longer lives as the world lives, no longer acts as the world acts, and no longer talks as the world talks. I want to see a generation rise up, and they literally resemble that of Christ. And Christ literally has reproduced Himself, and He has made them to be like Him. And so tonight, if you want to talk to your students, if you want to get a hold of them and pull them aside and ask what God's done, you know what? I would challenge you to literally get into the Word. Read James chapter 4 verses 7 and 8, where it says, resist the devil and he will flee. I want a student generation to rise up and begin to live a life that no matter what happens around them, no matter what goes on, circumstances, whether it be sickness, whether it be famine, whether it be war, whatever it may be, that it does not affect their relationship with God. And so tonight we taught them how to resist in order to resist, and we watched God do some great things. But next week we want to invite you out to the revolution. It is the resistance. Come be a part of what God's doing in this city. We have already made plans to get into the event center come June 5th, and we're expecting. Listen, if you're wanting to be a part of it, to invest in this generation, we need to raise thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in order to keep the revolution going. If you want to be a part of that, please message me, text me, whatever it may be, tweet me. Let me know that you want to be a part of this, because God is stirring up a revolution in the city of Pueblo, and we are going after every teenager and every family, not leaving one behind. But from Pastor Jamie to you in your homes, may God transform your life so that you can resist in order to resist. God bless you and have a great evening.